Okay, so this is part two on refacing stair treads. Okay, so we took our measurements and we are transferring them into this piece of plywood that's already sanded. Here's one piece that was already cut off. Okay, beautiful, beautiful finish here. You can stain this, you can paint it. In this case, we're gonna paint it, gonna lightly sand it just a little bit more and maybe the edges if need so. I have it numbered, right? This is actually a 6. So basically, you want to make all your measurements first on the plywood, not cut as you go. The reason being is that I'm not using a table saw because I don't want to. I'm just using a utility blade. This will go through it with a few scores. And the reason I want to, first get all my measurements in is that when I do cut, right, it's not going to be perfect. So if you're measuring off the cut surfaces, you may be off. So it's better to get your grid down, right? All your measurements. Hard to tell here, but I already have some pieces laid out. I'm going to keep going. And it's just, believe me, it's much better that way. And that's it. You basically cut it, take your time, make sure that your blades are nice and sharp, get a few of them. Again, if I wanted to use a table saw, I can do that, probably make the work go faster, but I don't want a whole bunch of dust going everywhere. I don't have that kind of wood shop. And, I'm watching a little bit of TV or just listening to music, get this done. I'm telling you, I need, about 15 pieces of these. Not a big deal. I'm going to have enough wood here. And that's it. It's going to look great. We'll go to part 3 when it's all painted or whatnot. And let's see how it looks like. Thank you. Okay, so cool. We have our pieces cut out. All right. It came out to 14 pieces altogether. So 14 steps or, part of the landing. Again, it's not perfect, right? I didn't use a table saw. So some of the edges could be a little jagged. So you have to just sand them down. When you install this on the old tread, there might be a little gap. So this is where we use silicone to put everything together. But what I did do is when I got the measurement, I reduced or deducted like a 1/16 of an inch to a 1/8 of an inch. So I don't have to come back and make more cuts. Now it's possible that, something was off and I may have to trim 1 or 2. So that's why I'm not going to paint yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dry fit them, right? I'm going to take them on site, dry fit them, make sure everything is good. If I have to make some kind of adjustment, I will. Then I'll bring them back to my work table. I will lightly sand it down and I will prime it. And then I will hit it with two coats of a high gloss paint. Then we'll take it back to the site and glue it. So we'll be back for the finished result, and I think it's gonna look great. Okay, so we brought it to site. Like I said, you don't want to paint. First fit them, make sure that they fit snug, because if not, you're just gonna make yourself, you're gonna give yourself more complications. So this is, how it looks. And then once we place the new piece, right, you see the nice finish, all the detail. Right now you see there is gaps, right? There is gaps. Obviously, again, this is not glued in place yet, but with silicone, with a couple of other stuff, this is gonna look like it's all one piece and it's gonna look like it's original. So we're gonna do that to all the risers. And like I said, I cut a little smaller just so that it'll fit in snug. If I make a mistake, I'll just go back and trim where I need to. We'll put some adhesive behind this, put it in place, nail it, set it, paint it, all that good stuff. And the next step will be the finished result. This over here, all that dirtiness there, right? This is called a stringer going all the way up. So then we're gonna hit that also with the high gloss paint, and this will all come back to life. We're not replacing the stringer, obviously. This has, almost 100 years of paint on it. So to strip this would definitely take a long time, but it's also doable. And we'll come back for the finished product. Cool.